Mahogany. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that post notification bell so you notify every single time I drop another video, guys. If you are returning, hey babe, how you doing? How you doing? So glad to see you guys. So glad to do another video for you guys. I am in such a good mood, y'all. I just went to having some lunch and it was so freaking good. Okay, I know that's random, but I still got my shades on, guys. But guys, I'm so excited to be doing this video because I just feel like it's so many of you all out there that just have big dreams, big hopes, big aspirations, and you know that there's something different about you. You know that like you don't think like everybody else, you don't feel like you fit in like everybody else fits in. You know, things are just different for you. You've always stood out. You feel like sometimes you're the outcast. You feel like you're misunderstood, but you know like there's something great inside of you. Like I want to talk to you guys because I know a lot of times during the journey, like it gets so freaking discouraging for numerous reasons. One, you know, people will try to say like you'll never make it. Two, you have people that don't understand you. Three, you're trying to figure out yourself. Four, you don't have the capital or the finances or the money to, you know, begin the things you feel like you need to begin. It's like a list, oh my gosh, of things that you feel like are holding you back or stopping you mentally or as a fence or a border, but you're like, I know I'm different. I know I've been called to something big. I know I've been called to live a life of abundance, but how? Get ready because this video is really going to change your life. If you have a notepad, iPad, whatever you use to write, take notes, I definitely encourage you to take notes because this is definitely going to be a video, like I said, that is going to change your perspective, your mindset. It's going to affirm some things in you that you've experienced and you're just like, oh, thank you for this video because now I don't feel alone. Now I know that how I've been operating is normal for me and for what I've been called to. So guys, my name is, if you're new, my name is Mahogany Jackson. I'm 26 years old. I am a full-time content creator and I also have other businesses. I'm married and I have 5 children currently and I'm expecting number 6. So I am so excited, like I said, to do this video, but that's a little bit of background information about me. I haven't worked a job in corporate America since probably, good gracious, 2017, I believe. And so it has definitely been a while. And I have been on this entrepreneurship journey, faith journey ever since then. And, you know, of course it took steps for me to get here. First I had left my job and then after like we kept going, building our business, my husband was able to leave his, I believe in, or like the first month in 2021. And here we are in 2023 and we're full-time content creators with multiple businesses and you know we've been able to become over 6-figure earners. So it's just been a beautiful process of just following our passion and listening to God. And so I want to encourage you that you can go from broke to abundance. You know, I literally remember when me and my husband, oh my gosh, y'all, like we would literally just eat like 1 meal a day. I'll put some pictures on the screen so y'all could just see where we started. We would be struggling. I remember we used to buy clothes this is probably back in 2015, 2016, we would buy clothes, have to take them back because we really couldn't afford them. It would be crazy. Like we would eat 1 meal a day. It's our testimony. Like I'm not ashamed of it, but you know, it was like we were broke and we were struggling and it was tough, but there was always something inside of us that always encouraged us, as well as God. Like God had placed his purpose inside of us, let me say it that way, that even when we were in those seasons where we had lack, we barely made enough to pay our bills. I mean, goodness, my husband, he was working a job where he worked Monday through Friday, guys, and he was only making $800 a month. And then I was working as well, and I was only making $600 a month. Together, we were making $1,400 as a couple, guys. We had no food stamps, none of that kind of stuff, no governmental assistance. Literally us and our $1,400 trying to pay rent, a car note. Like every month we did not, like it was a struggle. We would have to sell things, sell our couch, sell this, sell that, just to live. It was crazy. And you know, where I'm from, like, of course, the environment that I was from, like the city I'm from, Lynchburg, Virginia, they are 15 years economically behind. So you can work 40 hours a week and still not have enough to live, unfortunately, in that city, just the way things are economically. But anywho, that just kind of set the preface for where I've come from. But we always knew that there was something greater for us. We always knew that God was going to bless us. And at the time, we didn't have kids or anything, but we knew that God was going to bless us with a family. We knew that God was going to bless us to be able to own our own businesses and be entrepreneurs and create generational wealth and legacy. And of course, not everybody's goal is to be an entrepreneur. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. Let me just say that. It's whatever your goals are, because you can go from broke to an abundance through a 9 to 5 if that's your goal. Like if you want to be a doctor, a dentist, whatever you want to be. But I just remember during those times it was so tough. And I just want to talk about that. Like when you are at this job, everyone there is getting paid low money. Everyone has this like poverty mindset of, oh, it's always something going on, or we're never going to have enough. And man, I hate, it's like a hub of negativity. Yet you're trying not to get sucked into it, because you know deep down where you are right now is not where you're going to stay. You know, where you're starting is not where you're going to finish. So it's always so hard when you're like in an environment and everyone else doesn't believe in themselves. They don't believe that anything's greater is going to happen. They don't believe anything greater is going to happen for you. But deep down inside, you know that you're different. You know that you've been called to go from broke to abundance. You know, living this lifestyle that you are currently isn't where you're supposed to end. You know, let's talk about that. I want to validate y'all who feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in a place now that where I know this isn't my end. I know this job isn't my end. I know this, what I'm doing isn't my end, but it's so hard to stay encouraged when everything around me is so negative, so poor, so the mindset is so small. And I want to encourage you just to keep going. Hold on to what's inside of you, that feeling that you know that you've been called to greatness. Literally hold on to that with everything you have in you and just keep going forward. It's not a comfortable season. I understand. When I was working that job, guys, and I was only making $600 a month, when I was working that job, I felt miserable. I looked a mess. I couldn't afford to get my hair done. I could barely afford clothes. And I just had to go every single day to that job and still know that the mahogany you see today was in there. And don't get me wrong, I have nowhere near arrived. God has so much more for me and my family. But I'm just saying, it's like, it's hard when it's like you're in this place and you look desperate, you look bad, you look a mess, you don't feel good about yourself, but trying to hold on to the fact that you know that God has this better place for you. Like, it's tough, but I want to encourage you to keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And make sure you don't allow people to get in your ear and change your mindset about yourself. Because people will tell you all day. I remember people used to tell me, my husband, oh, you'll never be anything. Nobody makes it out of this city. Oh, you're not going to have any money. Or nobody in this family has money. Nobody in this family has done the things you want to do. How are you going to get opportunity? These people aren't going to never work with you. It was always negativity. People love to put their insecurities on you. People love to put their failures on you. Oh, I tried that business and I failed. Well, guess what? You tried that business and you failed, but that doesn't mean when I try, I'm going to fail. So be encouraged. Like, know deep down inside of you, you have to be sure of yourself. Know deep down inside of you that no matter what people say, no matter how they try to discourage you, you know that what it is that you're believing that God said to you, or what it is that God has placed inside of you, it is going to come to fruition. I don't care if it could be anything. It could be a business. It could be a child. The way things are stacked against you, it looks like you'll never have a child, but you know deep down inside God said you're going to carry a baby. You know, it could be anything, business, whatever. It's so important that you keep that mindset. And you know, okay, it doesn't matter what people are telling me. I know deep down that this is who I'm going to be. This is who I'm going to become. And literally doing that will keep you going and will allow you to elevate your life and go from broke to abundance. I remember Tyler Perry did an interview with Kevin Hart. And he said, people ask me all the time, how did I get to where I am? And he said, excuse my language, he said, by ignoring y'all's You know what I'm saying? And it's so important because you have to ignore people as you are going up the ladder. I remember when I was going through a transformational period. I put my book on the screen. I'm not the girl I used to be, but it shares my story of how I went from party girl to finding God and pretty much finding my purpose and things like that. And I remember people used to say, she ain't changed. She's still the same girl. She that. She'll never be nothing. She'll never da-da-da-da-da-da. People had so much to say. And to those people who did have something to say, I hope you're doing well, because I am doing very well. So glad I didn't listen to y'all. But, you know, it's so important that literally you believe it before you see it. You have to believe it before you see it. You have to know that what God told you is going to happen regardless of what the odds looks like. It's all in your mind. That's how you go from broke to abundance. Your mindset, okay? Your mindset is important. Also, who you hang around. You can't expect to hang around broke people, but be rich. You know, you can't, and when I say broke, I mean not just financially. Financially is important too, but I mean broke spiritually, broke mentally, broke emotionally. I was talking to people the other day and I was saying self-love is more than how you treat yourself, but how you allow others to treat you. And it's about being selective with who you allow in your life, who you allow in your circle. That's also self-love. Who you hang around will determine whether you go from broke to abundance, and that's period, okay? Who you hang around is literally essential to the process. You can't expect to hang around everybody that's broke, but then you're gonna be the one that make it out to be rich. Like, no, you have to already, before you get there, start shaping your circle to look like where you want to go. Yeah, you might have people in your circle that's been friends with you for years. You know, they your day ones, or y'all been friends since elementary school. But let me tell you something, if they're toxic, if they're not trying to move to the next level, they can't be connected to you. You can't carry dead weight with you where you're going. You know, you can't carry people that ain't trying to do nothing, people who ain't trying to progress, people who are okay being mediocre, people who just have small mindsets. They're not going to be able to go with you. Does it hurt? Yes. I remember disconnecting for some of my friends that I have been friends with for years. It hurt so bad. But literally, if you look at their life and you look at my life, we literally went in two different directions. Granted, I love them still. Like, my love for them did not change. But I knew that if I wanted to go here, it was going to require me to start shaping my circle. Literally, start shaping my circle to reflect where I'm trying to go. And I definitely felt uncomfortable at times. I remember I used to be in situations where I would be surrounded with other influencers, other full-time entrepreneurs, other people that had it and I didn't have it. It'll make you feel uncomfortable. You're like, who do I really belong? Oh, you know, should I really be in a circle? Oh, I don't feel like I fit in. But let me tell you one thing. It's okay not to fit in. You want to be in places where you're not the biggest one in the room. I don't ever want to be the biggest one in the room in my circle. You know what I'm saying? I want people that's making more than me, got more than me, because it inspires me. If you're in a room where you're the biggest person, that room is way too small. Okay? Period. So it's so important that literally you shape your circle to reflect where you want to go. When I say that, I'm not saying if you want to be rich or if you want to be financially secure, the whole circle got to be financially secure. I'm not saying that, okay? Because sometimes that's unrealistic. There's nothing wrong, though, with having a friend in your circle. They might not be wealthy, but they're wealthy spiritually, mentally. They don't try to pull you down. They're not toxic. They're there for you. They love you. They love what they do. They're happy in their careers, okay? Because not everybody's goal is to have generational wealth. You know, some people just want to live comfortably while they're on this earth and just, you know, everybody has different desires. But are they happy in what they're doing? Are they motivated? You know, because you can be a billionaire and that doesn't mean you can't be friends with somebody that's a nurse or somebody that, you know, works at a chicken joint. It's all about literally their mindset. Because like I said, everybody can't be a boss. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to have employees. That's the only way businesses work anyway. So there's nothing wrong with people at different levels, but how are they spiritually? Sometimes the billionaire and the person who fries chicken, the chicken fryer is more wealthier than the billionaire, because the billionaire has money, but the chicken fryer has peace of mind. They have just good play. They're in a good place spiritually, and just they're a well-rounded person. They're happy with their career. They have good relationships with their kids. So, you know, abundance just isn't finances, okay? So let's look at our circle and make sure that our circle reflects where we're trying to go. Okay. The next thing is to literally write the vision and make it plain. It's literally in the Bible. The scripture says to write the vision and make it plain. Okay. Because just like anything, I have a vision board in my room. And it's so important that you see where you're going. It's a dream board, vision board. I don't know what, I forgot the name of those ones where you like have the white background and you put the pictures on it. Dream board, vision board, either one. But however you decide to do it, whether it's a dream board, whether it's just on a whiteboard, or whether it's on a sheet of paper in your notebook, whatever, write the vision. What is your goals? What is your long-term goals? What is your short-term goals? Your short-term goals should get you to your long-term goals. You know, I have long-term goals. I have goals for myself. How do I want to be remembered? These are things I'm thinking about at 26. How do I want to be remembered? How am the decisions I'm making today making sure that my kids will be financially secure when I leave? You know, so many different things like that. Those are my long-term goals, to make sure I have that generational wealth, to make sure that while I'm on this earth, I've used all the gifts that God has given me, because I'm a multifaceted person. Not just an entrepreneur. I'm not just a mentor. I'm not just an author. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just a mom. You know, it's so many pieces to me. So when I leave this earth, I want people to have seen it all. I want people to have been able to experience it all. You know, I want people to be able to have learned and gained something from it all, you know? And so it's so important that everything I do, every video, every skit, every conversation, every deal, every brand, everything I do leads me to my goals, my long-term goals, okay? So making sure we're writing the vision, we know what our long-term goals are, we've created short-term goals to get there, you know? I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say you want to be an influencer and you want to grow to 5,000 subscribers, 5,000 followers or something. You know, your short-term goals will be to make sure you're posting consistently, getting a consistent schedule, make sure you're always posting, evaluating your results, and making sure that whether it's you want to gain 200 followers a month or a week, or however you break down like how you plan to get to that 5,000. But your short-term goals would be, you know, how many, say, get 200 new followers in a week, post consistently for 30 days. Your short-term goals should always lead you to your long-term goals. Okay, say one of your long-term goals, and you have like long-term and then long-term. So long-term would be like a really long-term for me is like establishing generational wealth. Okay, so that's not something that's necessarily going to happen tomorrow. I have things already established in it, but I'm talking about like I want my kids to be blessed, you know, and beyond. So if that's that, making sure that when it comes to, say, my social media, because like with our YouTube channel, regardless of whether we post, it's still making money. Okay, so this could be an avenue for generational wealth, right? So making sure that all my assets are owned, all my videos are mine, I haven't sold them, making sure that I don't do any deals that requires me to sell my content on my YouTube channel, because this is a way that I plan to make generational wealth, you know? And then making sure that in my will that I have it set up where, you know, these channels, these things like that just don't, you know, go to the government or just go off to the side, but these things are structured to go to my children. The money from those things are designed to go to my children. So things like that are my short-term goals, making sure that I have everything set up appropriately and making sure that in the process I'm signing deals and things that lead me in that direction for that generational wealth. So even when I start a business, making sure that my LLC and all these things are structured, each business that we start is structured in a way that it knows that, okay, if something happens to my husband and I, these things are headed to our children. It's legally written, it's legally right. They won't gain any debts per se, but they will gain the consistent revenue from it. So, you know, I remember I watched the movie Air, and Michael Jordan, his mom, when he signed his deal, she pretty much said that he was to get a percentage of each shoe sold under Nike. And pretty much I saw that even now he generates over $400 million a year just through passive income for Nike. So look at that. That's literally something that's going to his kids, that's kids, like that generational wealth because of a deal he signed in, I think, 1984. So making sure that every deal you sign, every discussion is your long-term goals. You're always thinking about your long-term goals, which is important that you have them written, like I said, because when you're thinking of your deals or when you're talking to businesses, companies, you can easily go find them, or you can have read them that morning and you know, okay, this decision I make has to be something that's going to lead me to where I'm trying to go, which is that generational wealth. Okay. The next one I would definitely say is go hard. A lot of people want the trophy without freaking working hard. If they could buy the trophy, I promise you they would buy the trophy instead of putting in the work to get the reward, you know? And so it's so important that as you go from broke to abundance, you understand that it is going to require hard work. There is nothing in my life that I have got that is worth having, and something that was sustained, and something that blessed me long term and had longevity that I did not have to work hard for. Okay, hard work is required. You want to be an influencer, it's going to require you to get up, it's going to require you to get out there. You want a business, it's going to require you to market, it's going to require stuff out of you. I promise you, being an entrepreneur, yes, there's so many pros, there's a lot of money that you can make, there's really no limit, there's so much opportunity, but it has definitely by far been harder than any 9-to-5 I have worked in my entire life. Okay, because a lot of times with the 9-to-5 you can leave and you're done for the day, do what you want to do, travel, vacation. Like, I ain't think about that job, okay? Because from 9-to-5 I think about it, after that I'm done. Being an entrepreneur is constantly you're in control of it, you know, of course with God, but it's like, if you don't solve the problem, it's gonna be there for you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no one coming to save you per se. You have to be smart, you have to make the right decisions, you have to do what you need to do to get things done, and that requires hard work. So if you think you're gonna go from broke to abundance and live your dream reality without working hard, I promise you it will not happen at all. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work. Period. I could say so much more about that, but I just want y'all to just get the meat of that point. You are gonna have to work. Okay? As long as you know that, you're gonna be fine. Next, I would say is people, haters, bloggers, all of that stuff. You have to be prepared that when you are just chasing success, people are going to have something to say about it, and that's okay. That is literally normal. There's nobody I know, Tyler Perry, TD Jakes, Oprah, those are some of the people I look up to and I love, but everybody that has achieved success, it comes with a level of hate. It's no getting out of it. It's no getting out of it. It's no, I don't care. It's no getting out of it, period. I want to talk about this because I say this, and I actually heard this from my pastor, but he pretty much was saying, nobody says anything when the dog barks at the moon, because it's normal. But everybody would stop and stare if the moon barked back at the dog, right? Like, imagine that. And you have to see yourself as the moon, because you are. If you're trying to go from broke to abundance, if you're on this journey to success, you have to see yourself as the moon before you become the moon. You know, you have to see yourself as that. And what I mean by that is you can't get caught up in pettiness, all this stuff, responding back to people. Y'all, when you get to a certain level, like, I promise you, I'm speaking from experience. When you get to a certain level, addressing some things make those things bigger than they would have been if you would have just left them where they are, okay? If you would have left that little blogger, left that little whatever they got to say alone, and let them try to grow on their own, it wouldn't have gone far. But when you take a minute to address it, you blow it up. You blow them up. Leave them where they at. You ain't doing it for them anyway, okay? You doing it for your long-term goals and for your kids and for your life, not for them, okay? So who cares about them? So it's so important that you get out of the idea of wanting to be liked, okay? Long as you like yourself, it don't matter how nobody else feel about you. And you have to be in that mindset. Granted, it's a natural human desire to want to be liked, you know? It's natural. You want to be liked. You want to be, like, it starts when we grow up. You know, when you first go off to school, you're wondering, like, are people gonna like me? Are people gonna be my friend? It's normal. It's normal. Because we are, like, called to be people, like, by nature that have friends, are around other people, you know? We're not necessarily meant to be, like, isolated. That's It's not really like human of us. Of course, some of us choose to be like that. Ain't nothing wrong with it, you know, but quite naturally, whether it's your partner, your mama, you know, we all are created to commingle with people and just, you know, be friendly and have your circle, if that's what you want to call it. So, you know, it's okay. I get your feeling of like, I'm a nice person. Like, I don't want them to misunderstand me. I'm a nice person. Why would they say that? Yeah, you're a nice person. You got great intentions, but people gonna have something to say about you regardless. It doesn't matter how many times you try to cross every I, dot every T, dot every I, cross every T. It don't matter how much you try to do that. Like, people gonna have something to say. So be prepared for it and don't spend your time addressing none of that stuff. It will keep you behind. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward and keeping the main thing the main thing. Okay, honey? Keep the main thing the main thing. And them haters showing the main thing. So don't focus on them. And lastly, which I have so many gems, I could talk on this forever, but just to kind of wrap up, I hope this video has just really encouraged you. But make sure you keep your purpose at the forefront, you know, because you have to have your why. Your why is why you get up and do what you do. Your why is why you do it. Your why is what drives you, because you're going to have days where you want to quit, where you feel like quitting, where you feel depressed, where you don't feel like getting out the bed, but it's your why that gets you up every single day. So making sure that you identify your why, whether it's I want to create a better life for my kids, I want to create generational wealth, I want to be able to afford certain things, I want to, whatever your why, God, you know, put this purpose inside of me. Literally, whatever your why could be or is, make sure you keep that in the forefront. So when you face challenges, when you face things that feel unbearable, you know that I can't get through this. I want to tell you one thing. You have 100% success record of getting out of your challenges. And what I mean by that is, look at all the things right now. I want you to think about all the things you literally sat there over the last few years and said, I will never make it through this. Oh gosh, if I make it through this, oh, I'll be so much better. Like, oh, you just felt so like, oh, I'll never make it through this. This is too hard. Look at you now watching this video. You made it through it. So anything you go through, you will make it through. It's just so important that you keep your purpose, your why in front of you, because that helps you get up, that helps you make it through those tough times. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have jotted down some things, some notes, some principles, something that I've said that has helped you change your mindset, shift your mindset, and literally go from broke to abundance and create that dream reality. These things that I share with you are the core of how to become successful, how to become that six-figure earner, how to have that generational wealth. These things are the core. I can sit here and tell you how to make money, do this, do that, start this business, and get an LLC. I can teach you all of that, and I got videos on my channel about that. But the reality is, if you don't have what I shared with you already locked in, you won't be able to sustain those things long term. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, I hope you have subscribed and you turn that bell on so that you can stay locked in with your girl out in this world, okay? And if you're returning, like I said, hey babe, I'm so glad that you are back, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Meet me in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel. Let me just know everything. You know, let me know what you about to do. Let me know that you are getting ready to create your dream reality and how you plan to do it and what your dreams are and what your goals are. I want to know in the comments, okay? But guys, I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye.